made him. Okay.
Second half was really good. That's fun. That's more like what I expect from my guys. You know, they secondary played really well, even though we were a little banged up back there. Pass rush got there. I mean, they go hand in hand. If we get that, and we held serve in the second half. We scored every time we got the ball. It looked easier for us than it did in the first half. We were kind of out of sorts in the first half, but turned it on and made some big plays in the game and got after them. I mean, I think we just kind of didn't. We were kind of in shell shock a little bit just in the beginning of the game. We just didn't start fast, but once we settled in, things started going a little smooth. Yeah, well, anytime that's his first sack of the season, meaning getting on Grady. So yeah, it's a surprise. I mean, it's hard to get after him. We've only given up 1, 2. So when you see either one of those quarterbacks go down for a sack, something's going on in the secondary, and the pass rusher's getting there. So surprise, no, not totally. Excited, yes. I mean, that made a big play for us, and then we picked off a couple there that we really needed in that game. They're kind of like receivers on that side of the ball. Honestly, it's who's going to show up tonight and make a big play for us. It's kind of the same thing for our receiving core. You just never know. It's based on who's in motion, what kind of coverage they play. Same thing, where they throw the ball. Romaine's normally the guy on the target because we play so much man-to-man, but we did some good jobs, falling off and helping out at times. And again, those weren't easy picks. Those were all really tough picks, and sometimes those DBs, they're the DBs for a reason. They don't play on the offensive side because they don't catch so well. Those were tough catches, and they made them. He's the best in the league. I've heard, I hear sometimes on telecast and I'm watching other games that they mention, this guy might be the best in the league. They know better. James is the best in the league, and that pick he made tonight was probably the best pick I've ever seen him make. Just from the standpoint of he's hurt already, his back was not doing well. He laid out, it looked like the ball, beat him there, and he laid out into the wall, no risk for his body, and came down with it and basically sealed the game for us. It was good. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, just to get into the dance, and now we're getting greedy. Now we're looking at it, number 1 seed still up. If we can get some help next week and we hold serve here on out, I mean, there's no reason we can't be the number 1 seed if things go well for us. So, yeah, excited. The guys are excited. All week the guys knew the importance of this game. Anytime you play Albany anyway, whether it's for a playoff spot or not, it's going to be, it's going to be a heated game. Defensive stops. I mean, you can't have one without the other. We got two stops in the third quarter. We scored really fast in those. Anytime you can hold them scoreless in a quarter, you got a shot because their only weakness, if they have one, is their defense in the secondary. And they played great in the first half. Their secondary, they were all over us, and we had to make some tough catches and battle through that. So, it is what it is. We're excited. Those things are longevity records. It's kind of like being a player. You got to be around for a long time. You've got to be, you got to have good players around you for a long time too. And I have. I've had great players around me. And, if I keep coaching, those are going to add up. And if I keep having good players, those are going to add up as well. So they go hand in hand. Yeah, I mean, anytime we get those, I mean, they're tough. That middle pop is tough. They do, and they had shots at all of them. We do a good job of scheming and making sure that he has a chance to recover that. What they had 4 or 5 they onside kicked, and we had a shot at another one in the end zone that we, at the end there, the crowd obviously wanted that 60 points. It wasn't an onside kick, but it'd been nice to see. It's about the win. I'm not getting anybody hurt for free fries.
Got the fries for the fans?
No. I mean, I take a chance of somebody getting hurt, and it's not worth that on my end. I'll let the ownership handle that. Well, I mean, they're a little beat up too. I mean, we all are at this time of the year. I mean, there's not a team out there, there's not a player out there that's not bumped, bruised, and battling through it. And our guys, just like them, they stepped to the challenge, and they knew what it meant. We got enough veterans on our team to pull along the young guys, and I say young guys, they're starting to turn into some vets. We got some, Bun and Jordan. Those guys are really, playing well for us and playing at a high level. It'll be nice to go down there. It'll be a little more comfort, but again, my guys are going to work, and they always do. I wouldn't have them here if they didn't. We know that. Maybe even Sean Downs will work for us back there, but who knows? You never know if he's going to work or not.
Hey, Coach, can you tell us who your favorite player is?
Yeah, James Romaine. There's a reason they call it home field advantage, and it's crowds like that why you have it. So we want that for the playoff run. Hopefully we can get that for our next playoff game and when we have one, and they make a difference. No, it's just Dan, making sure, in delivering the ball where it's supposed to go. So, talked about that earlier. You don't know which receiver is going to show up. It's basically which coverage they want to run. And, they did run quite a bit of zone, but they ran some soft man too, where it looked like zone. And, we played catch. We didn't do that on the first drive. Dan took some throws that he probably shouldn't have. And he'll tell you the same thing. So, we just got to take what they give us, and that's what we always preach. The defense, you have to say, because they're a hard team to stop. And anytime we can get that pressure, like I said, against that big, tall quarterback, and really it should have been 2 sacks. That I don't know how that's not intentional ground when you throw the ball from behind. There's got to be something written in that. I don't know any defensive coach, defensive player does not want that be intentional grounding. So. The defense stepped up and they won this football game for us.
It was just an adjustment we made in the locker room. Just run through their face, go get a sack. We need to turn it up. Our first 2 series on defense, we looked bad. We were stuck on blocks, we weren't getting off. And when we came in the locker room, we made an emphasis to get to the quarterback. That's what we pride ourselves on the past 2 games. We were getting after quarterbacks, and we knew what the challenge was going to be this week coming into a team that had no sacks. And that's been a great accomplishment for their O-line. But we just came out and we had to get after them. Personally, it feels good, but that wasn't my sack. That was the whole D-line. We've been plugging at him that whole third quarter, and our middle collapsed that middle, the backside, Dover collapsed that. He forced Grady over to me. All I did was run upfield. I was just fortunate enough to be the guy to get there. It could have been any one of us. Feels great. It feels it's always good. You can never get enough of that feeling. This is my 3rd season playing with the Soul, 3 for 3 in the playoffs. So, we're looking to get another ring. The fan support is half the battle right there. Make them feel uncomfortable, yelling in their ears. There was one play, I think, the guy was going to catch an interception and one of the fans grabbed it and he was mad. That's the fan support. Our fans get loud, they get rowdy. We're Philadelphia. That's what we do. I've been Temple here. I'm Philly. Philly is football for me, and that's what the fans do. It's a good feeling knowing you got guys back there like that are going to get you 3 picks a game, because that opens you up as a D lineman. You can just run upfield because now, even if you don't get there, just your breath on the quarterback's back alone is going to make him throw that up. And with the DBs we have, that's all it takes. We'll come away with a pick, as you saw in that second half. It's the same feeling. It feels good, but at the same time, like you said, we got punched in the mouth. We were bleeding. That blood, that scar still hasn't healed. We still got blood in our mouth. Nothing's changed just because we won 3. We're still playing like we lost 4. We still got that blood in our mouth, and we're still very, very angry, and we still want to run this table and clinch this first place playoff spot. Everybody's the same. First place, last place, they all put their pants on the same. Doesn't matter if, like I said, if you're first place or last place, you step on that field at Philly Soul and you get beat. It feels the same way because next man up. You're just another speed bump on the road to us getting this ring. I feel like I'm at 100%. Last time we played Albany, they kind of gave it to me. They punched me in the mouth really badly, and I took that personal. I had a chip on my shoulder. I was playing with the knee brace for the first half. I said, forget this. I took the brace off. I said, if I'm telling myself I'm at 100%, I need to play like it. I can't have a brace on. Took the brace off, and from then on, my play began to progress further and further until the product you saw out there on the field today with our whole entire D-line. Physically or mentally? Because physically, I knew I had the mobility. I knew it was there, but mentally, it was still that trauma. Because, an ACL surgery, I didn't just do ACL. I did ACL, MCL, and my meniscus. So mentally, I was not fully there. It wasn't until I had the brace off and I took a shot and I had to plant, and I was like, oh man, it's going to be it. It's going to snap again. But after that, I was like, wow, I'm there. And by the grace of God that he allowed me to come back. People ask me all the time, how did you come back so quickly? Because I was in the gym not even a month after. I said, man, prayer. That's all it was.
How difficult can it be to be consistent on defense? You guys make it.
Not at all when you practice what we practice. When you, and this is a testament to Coach Bell and how great of a coach he is, when you apply pressure to your players and make them uncomfortable and you make practice hard and difficult, the game is easy. So that's not hard at all with the way we work. Tommy Dover is Tommy Dover. You can't put a label on that kid. You can't put him at end. He can play end, nose. I'd be surprised they put him at DB. He's an athlete. He is very good, and he adds an element and a dynamic to that defense that not a lot of people are ready for. They see him at nose, and they're like, okay, this guy's smaller. He's just straight speed until he hits you with that move, and he's gone. The next thing you know, he's on your quarterback. So, and it's great playing next to him because he opens a lot up for me. 5-step, 3-step, 2-step. We're going because we are a smash them in the mouth kind of defense. We might be small, but we will hit them in the mouth. So if they run 5-step, they run 3-step, we're coming downhill and we're boom.
That first drive, coach was fired up. He said, "That's all on you. What are you going to do about it?" And we responded pretty well. starts with the big boys up front. You know, they've got a solid pass rush, and our boys shut it out for the most part. I think Sykes got in there on a no-mo, kind of a quick snap. I think he got on Keith's toes a little bit, but you know, we were rolling. We stayed out of some tough situations there, and in the first 2 or 3 drives, we put ourselves in 3rd and 4th down, and then throughout the rest of the game, we were able to avoid them. And you know, red zone offense stepped up, played well this week, and you know, played well off each other. Defense got some stops, and then we were able to get a bunch of scores after that. So we like it, but there's always room for improvement. I've been playing against Tommy a long time. He's a good competitor. You know, you got to bring your A game. But, you know, I hope he's already took some shots. Defensive line, where our rush woke up as we expected. And you see what happens when that happens. The front matches up with the back, and it's hard for anyone, even Tommy Grady. But, yeah, he's a good competitor. I'm glad we came out, but I like our chances in our huddle every time. It was okay. I mean, you guys don't know the plays and what's going on, so we still fouled up too much for our own liking. And, you know, if it was a little bit tighter game, it might have affected it a little more. But we got to keep getting better. We got some young guys out there we're asking a lot out of, and you know, we'll get it right. But guys stepped up and made big timely plays tonight, and that's what it's about in big games. You have to play good on first, second down, and then your situational football has to be good. So we're happy about it. But like I said, I'm not competing against Tommy Grady. I'm competing against the Albany Empire and myself. Time it's going to work, but we executed well. That's what it was. You know, we had some energy. Our guys were ready. You know, when their number was called. Prince, I see him back there. He started it off before the game even started. Got under everyone, lit a little fire under him, and that's what it's about. These big games, you better come out ready, hit the grill in the mouth. Hey, that's what we do, right? We every year we do our best to get in the dance, and we've done well at it before. We're not where we want to be right now, but we're giving ourselves opportunities to take the right steps to get in those advantageous situations. So, hey, one play at a time. I mean, this game, y'all know how it goes after watching. Anybody can win any game. So Atlantic City, they're getting better. I'm not sure what they're going to do with their quarterback situation, but both of them are good. So we're going to have to prepare and score every time. But, hey, man, we got to treat every game like that. But that's, you know, that's Philly arena football, man. The crowd's always behind us, and it was good to see it. When we came out from under that helmet, I mean, you could tell it was jamming. I even saw some people up in the top, which I haven't seen in a while. But, hey, man, they were expecting a big game, and I'm glad we were able to deliver. And, you know, now we're in the dance. So we get a playoff game at home, and that's, you know, it's good to get back to them. But we're going to need them for that, too. So stay behind us. We're going to keep rocking. Hey, man, it's about playing off each other. I mentioned it earlier. You know, if they get stops, we have to go score. If we get stopped, you know, they have to go put the bleeding out. So they did a wonderful job tonight. They've been playing at a high level for a while now, and you can see it throughout the week as they practice. You know, they're stingy back there. They're greedy. They're trying to pick off passes, and when you can get the pass rush to come alive, it makes covering them a little better. And when you cover them really well, it lets the pass rush come alive. So, like I said, credit to them. And then we were able to capitalize off the situations they created. So it's a team game. I mean, I got all the faith in the world in our guys, man. That's why we practice at game speed too, is so they're ready for it. Come Saturday or Sunday or game day, it's supposed to flow. And you know, they're getting more confident each and every day, and you can see it in their play. They're executing well, and you know, I just got to get the ball in their hands and let them get in the groove. And I thought it was a really beautiful thing today, and made some wonderful plays for us.
Phil, Pun and Prince is going to be like your new 1-2 punch.
They already are, right?
Yeah.
You look at it, and then Jordan Williams is coming into his own too. His speed really takes the top off the defense or pushes the defense way back. So we got playmakers, man, and I'm not afraid to throw it to any of them. You know, they all give me good opportunities and good spots. So it's my job to deliver the ball to the open guy. The more I do that, the more we typically score and win. So I got to continue to do my job, answer the bell. When they're open, give it to them. But, you know, our play is rising, and they're a big part of it. BJ Bunn.
Seems like he's a great addition to
He is. And we like the kid, too. You know, not just on the field, but off the field, he fits in. He's a character. He's funny. His camaraderie with the boys was noticeable day one. And when that happens, you know, you can pick it up quicker and get in the mix. And, you know, we've got some veterans on this team who really do a wonderful job of leading our young guys. And you can see that BJ has followed suit with some of these guys. But he's the type of guy who is always ready for the ball, may not do everything correct, may run a different route or do something different, but he gives himself the opportunity to be successful. And, you know, he's a playmaker. No, not the biggest guy, not the fastest guy, but when it's around him, you know, good things typically happen. So, you know, he's got a lot of strides to go, but we're comfortable and confident. He's made a couple jump ball plays. He made a play in the end. He caught a touchdown in the end zone with one hand, a guy on his back. But if he'd run the right route, he'd probably been wide open. But hey, it's about ad-libbing and making plays. And, you know, we're going to stay on him. Our vets stay on him. Coach stays on him about doing the right thing. But you can't argue with results either. So I told him after the game, because, I mean, Coach Dalzell can be in your back pocket and you can feel it wear on you if you let it. I told him, I said, let's move on. I'm behind you. You made some mistakes. The best way to learn is through mistakes. So I wouldn't say they ran a ton of zone tonight. They played a lot of off man. They got a young kid in the middle. I think he's their third safety. You know, Coach Keefe, that's kind of been his MO a lot over the years, kind of plays soft zone, and then he gets aggressive, handsy, and physical in the red zone and tries to slow it down, which is reflective with their #1 red zone defense, I think. So, you know, if you're going to play zone in this league, it's kind of a slow death. You know, especially there's 4 or 5 quarterbacks who I would say know what they're doing. So in zone, it's typically someone's open. But, you know, we hit some there, made some plays. Guys made some plays with the ball in their hand. But like I said, if you play zone, you know, we'll typically find the open guy. And then if you play man, we put a lot of emphasis on the motion winning. So, like I said, our guys executed. I felt like we got a pretty good rhythm after that first drive. And, hey, anything can happen. You know, we were up, 2 or 3 scores there inside a minute. But with bar balls, onside kicks, long, it's only 50 yards long. You're scoring any play. So you got to play the 60 minutes. And we did.
It was down to Prince where you kind of floated it up, and they had, I think their frontside guy dropped off into it, but you still got it in the bucket. What do you think of that throw? Where do you think that one's going to rank?
To be honest, we slid the wrong way up front. We were kind of running a fool you play, where we do a little play action with the back, and he fits weak in his fit in the middle, and center slid the wrong way. So one of the guys came through free, and a lot of times when that happens, those D linemen kind of stop because they expect to get blocked, right? So it gave me just a little bit of time. I found the backside guy. Keith wasn't falling off enough, and just give it some air. That's one of those, you know, you've been playing for a while, so you got to trust it. Otherwise, it's not in there. But yeah, let it go. Prince made a good play. I think I was on the ground. I looked over. Coach had his hands in the air, so it makes it.
Great ball.
Thanks, I appreciate it. You know, you got to take it one play at a time, for real. I kind of feel like we've had a playoff mentality the last few weeks. We kind of had to. We were 500 at 3-3 a couple weeks ago. Not where we wanted to be, and we still aren't. But hey, man, this is what it's about. This is where you should be ascending and making the strides to be playing your best ball come the playoffs. And I'm proud of our guys, but it's got to get better. You know, like I said, we stumbled out the gate a little bit. Some penalties in there we got to clean up. We went out. I think we might need a little help. Washington might need to lose one, but if we went out, I think we're the 1 seed. So, like I said, we're going to take it play by play, drive by drive, quarter by quarter, half by half, game by game, and we just got to keep working. You know, it was a big win tonight against the big dog, the daunting empire everyone was so worried about, and we didn't play our best ball and we won by 2 scores. So, you know, I got to give them credit though. They're a solid team, and we'll see them in 2 games. So. I know they'll reload and be hungry, but I expect that last game of the year to have seeding implications and look for us to play well.
All season, I kind of think this is the moment we've been waiting for us to be clicking. We came out a little bit slow on the first drive. I mean, but that was our only stop after that. You know, we scored on every drive after that. So, you know, we put in a lot of hard work this week in practice, and it showed tonight.
Talk about you lit up the field. I mean, you were just a weapon on offense. How did you get around those defenders today?
Just watching film, seeing how they played the certain formations, going over their coverages, and I mean, I told myself I got to be better. You know, I was having decent games, but I wasn't playing to the level I know I can play at. And all week I was just on myself, putting in extra amount of time watching film, and just came out and when the ball was in the air, I just told myself, you got to catch it.
Did you feel like the offense was feeding off the defense's energy today? Of course,
and that's what happened in any team sport. One side of the ball picks up, the other side of the ball got no choice but to follow suit.
And also, in the third quarter, there was an exchange between Coach on the Albany side and you. I saw some talk going on, kind of what was going on there.
He knew what he said.
Okay.
I ain't even going to put that to the media. He knew what he said. Uncalled for.
Week 3, you guys played Albany here at the Wells Fargo Center. You got, more or less kind of run out of your own building. Does it feel nice to get that 1 win back and kind of, 1-for-1 against them now?
Yeah, it feels good. But I honestly feel like we kind of let them get away with that one too. I feel like if we're playing our best ball, I mean, it was early in the season. It was week 3. We have some younger guys in the lineup. But I mean, I kind of feel like they got away with that one, And if this is the right time where we're peaking at, the league's in trouble.
First play of the game, you guys took that shot. You went vertically. How bad you want that one? And what did that just kind of set the tone for on offense?
Well, I figured I could split them down the middle. I should have ran away from the DB, made it an easier pass for Dan to hit me on. But from that point, I'm like, no, they can't watch me all game. You know, I knew it was going to be a game where I would make some plays, and Dan just put the ball in the air, and I knew I would come down with them.
Does it give you guys more confidence knowing you beat the first place team?
Yeah, it gives us confidence. I mean, whether they were first place or they were Columbus from last week, I mean, we know the high level that we could play at, you know, and this is something that we've been looking forward to all season, and we're hitting it at the right time.
What adjustments were made at halftime for the offense to go off in the second half?
Just like I kind of set the tone earlier in the game. In the locker room before we came out, you know, I was digging in the guys, asking them to be better, you know, do your job, do your assignment. And at halftime, I mean, we started off slow. They kind of got away with a fourth down. It was like 3rd and 20. They got half the yards and then they scored. And you know, but at halftime we just told the guys like we made some mistakes and we're only down by 1. You know, and to give them credit, they are the number 1 team right now. You know, I would never discredit any team in this league that goes out there and perform week in and week out. You know, but we know what we're capable of doing, and we just talk to each other, and we pick each other up, and we go out there and play.
How big is it when you guys get extra possessions like that when you did in the second half? I mean, interceptions, 4th down conversions.
Oh, it's huge because like I heard Dan talking with the bar balls and the onside kicks. You have to steal possessions, you know, and Albany doesn't turn the ball over very much, and when they do, you got to make them pay for it.
That touchdown you caught, they called PI on it, and their frontside guy kind of backed off on it too. What did you see there, and how did you come down with that?
We had a play ran where it was a disguise and a fake run, and I act like I'm blocking the jack, and I take off to the post, and I see him falling off, and I think that he stumbled or the 2 DBs collided or something. I'm not sure what happened. And I mean, my job was to fake the block and go to the post, and Dan found me. I don't have any difficulties or troubles getting open. In the game of football or any team sport, when the guy goes down, it's the next man up. And we got some rookies that are making plays, and they're stepping up. BJ Bunn is stepping up. You know,
I miss you.
A few mistakes, but you know, I mean, when the ball's in his hand, he make plays. When the ball's in the air, he goes up and he get it. I mean, the guy was on his back in the end zone and he catches it. I mean, we miss Washer. He's a big piece of our offense, but like any team sport, the next guy got to step up. Has to.